at the idea of a sermon, right? It's supposed to present biblical references and then relate it to modern challenges and current events or social issues. And so this sermon is going to be one I've actually have never Christianity and for that matter of other religions as well. It's the idea of no premarital intimacy, and it was forged by the originators of many religions, such as the Orthodox Jewish traditions and Muslim and beyond. And in certain spiritual and like Buddhist environments, I think they take it too far. They take to the point of suggesting that a celibate life is the highest form of enlightenment or conscious experience on earth. And I would say that the most fantastic life is the one which involves embracing life and celebrating our ability to generate sexual gratification and to express to do that specifically to somebody that we care about. And that starts off with not doing it to somebody that we don't care about. And in fact, that's exactly what occurs in premarital intimacies. It's like if you're valuing the commitment of love and the marriage, if that's less important to you than getting off vacation, then obviously you're not in the realm of self-love nor any religious realm of trying to stay true to a higher truth. I mean, even if it's worshiping some type of God that you believe. I mean, that's what I do. I worship a God that I believe. Its God is V, vulva. And but the V also stands for virginity. It stands for virtue. It stands for virgin. And so, even though this is a quote-unquote sermon, it could easily be compatible with a Christian sermon where they made references to delaying intimacy until marriage. But it's not just about, because at least in the Christian context, because this type of immoral deviation could result in being sent to a hell, but it's also because it creates suffering on earth. And that's what I think. Like, preachers already have the hell part down, but I want to invite them to use elements of this sermon I'm presenting in an hour-long format, and to create your sermon that has these representations of how it can cause problems in your own life, in your immediate life, here on Earth. So we have the more obvious things. I'll name a list of 10, but starting off with that it's unloving. Like I mentioned, it's not putting love first, not putting the love of your own values first, which if you loved yourself and who you are and your life trajectory, then you would only reserve your sexual passion, your extra time. What happens is guys give women all their extra time and money, whether they care about them or not, all in the name of getting sexual gratification. So you might as well do it with somebody who you know will reciprocate that. And that's point number 2. If a guy the disadvantages to women are pretty, like unwanted pregnancy, STD, being not saving your virginity for your man, But then for men, people think, some men think, it'd be the greatest thing to be a woman because you get hit on and people want to have sex with you all the time. But no, for a man too, it's a problem. And maybe that's what this sermon is about. It's about how for men it's a problem. So as well. So you have, it's giving of your time and energy. Right? And what else is it? So number 3 is that so number 2 was because it's a shameful secret that you wouldn't want to tell anyone. Obviously, you wouldn't tell people when you're married that you're having sex either, but it's presumed that you're intimate. Right, so So what else do we got? We got number 3, which is that energy to cycle back to you. As a man, you want your energy to convert from all the work you do and the money you make and the food that you supply to your wife, convert that back to you by her using it to either, if she's like, is she going to use it to be like a secretary or help you organize your life or make you meals? Or if you have children, is she going to teach those values to your children? Or maybe she can help you on like maintaining a social media or commenting on social media to promote certain values or agendas. Like, is she, and then obviously if she's working a job, then she's doing something for other people, perhaps another, work for another guy. But ideally, I think it's that the woman stays home and she helps she helps reaffirm and and you want to be able to stand up and strong, you know, and you can't do that because if you're engaged in shameful premarital intimacy activity, you can't do that. Now, point number 6 is that you're affecting the trust between you and your fellow man. Can they trust you around their daughters? Can they trust you around their sisters? Can society trust each other? Can men trust each other around their future wives? And all questions, right? Okay, that's already 5 good points. And now okay, point number 6. So you're not thinking from a long-term perspective, so it's going to affect your decisions. If you're just thinking short-term, like gratification, getting off, then all of your life is going to be around that. You're not going to be saving up for, financial stability and your family's future and being able to help your children and grandchildren financially. You're not going to be doing that. And you're not going to be able to protect your children from, dangerous. Whoa, really? From dangerous situations. And a difficult life, like having to do, undesirable jobs and whatnot. Let's see, what else? So that's a good point 6. Point 7 is when you're with a person, you're also not going to be able to you're neglecting your future wife. Oh, that's a huge one. So that's point number 6 is you're not thinking about your future life. You're not maybe sending her messages. Like I have this idea of sending email messages to my future wife with pictures of my progress in my life and things like, oh, I'm saving up this much money for us and all that good stuff. And I'm learning this skill so I can make money in the future for us and all that good stuff. And if you're pursuing premarital intimacy with the women you don't like, because that's a default, if you're with people you don't like, then obviously you're not focusing on your future wife, so you're not available to her either. You're using the money and time that you need to get ready for your future family, and you're giving it to random women. All right, so that's, what was that, point number 7? Number 8 is it's not just that aspect, but it's other women's energy, like whatever, because you're addicted to sexually activity with her and getting off, it's gonna make it hard for you to. You're gonna be like persuaded by these various women. You're gonna be influenced by them, right? They're gonna maybe convince you to do things you otherwise wouldn't want to do, or maybe certain habits, and And it's also setting that woman up for failure, because then she's going to be, maybe attached to you. And then point 8 is it'll make it hard. It's entanglement, so it'll make it hard for you to withdraw yourself from them, right? Won't it? It'll make it harder. And then point 9, is you're creating memories you don't want with people that you don't want. So you might think that person's gonna be gone when you're no longer with them, but they'll still be with you in memories. And this is all interfering with, obviously, your spouse. And finally, lastly, is it's going to make you not like life as much, because you're not engaging in self-intimacy to manage your own desires, and you're just not loving yourself. You're not being close with yourself. And I know that there's bias towards that on the internet in the Bible about whether people should be self-intimate and masturbate, but I'm going to offer a link below, and this guy who talks in favor pro masturbation from the Bible. And if you think about it, it helps you to avoid premarital intimacy. Some people think it charges you up and makes you want sex more, but I would say it helps you to satisfy yourself, so you're not looking for that from an external source. So thanks for being here with me, and let us talk more. And we've hope this has been good, quote unquote sermon. We'll have to make it more elaborate into like a 1-hour sermon, but we can do that, right? Thank you, guys, and good luck with your church. Aloha.